Shalom, giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Arachak Wadash. Their wonders to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto the tabernacle of David, the whole four elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, I just want to speak on this this little film here. You see the title. It says, I work at Palantir, the tech company reshaping reality. And we know that this devil, he's setting up his beast system that everybody's going to have to come up under and bow down to. And, he's, setting the bounds. He's setting up the landscape of this new infrastructure in which we will all be controlled, monitored, closely watched. So, this film, it does a good job giving the insight, into this whole system that they're designing. All right, the corporations, partnering up with each other with these intelligence agencies, and this will give them all the power that they need. All right, and just to quote scripture, of course, it tells us, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we're not ignorant of his devices. All right, and it also says that, they do these plots, upon their beds, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. All right. And this is what they're doing, basically trying to shape their new enterprise. So I'll play maybe a couple minutes of it, but I'm not going to play the whole thing. And, this is fair use, of course, but this just goes to show you, where things are heading. All right. The whole world is under control of the wicked one, the devil. And in due time, the Lord's going to, finally pay him a visit. Because like the Psalm says, further not their wicked device. Grant, O Lord, grant not the wicked his desire, and further not his device, lest he, boast himself. You start to get proud. I believe that's Psalms 140:8. So without further ado, let's take a peek.
It's taboo to do that.
It's taboo to do
Shalakia,
that.
let me do this real quick.
College.
But to criticize an employer that also.
All right, Lord willing, y'all can hear this.
Extremely lethal technologies and surveillance technology.
You know what? This is what I'm gonna do.
That are highly invasive and used in war zones is something else entirely.
It's 2025. We're all kind of used to government surveillance. The idea that we're all being watched all the time and don't own our own personal data has become normalized. We're also used to the military spending vast amounts of our money on just a few giant defense contractors. But one tech company wants to change both of those things
and become the ultimate military contractor and the ultimate arbiter of all of our data.
Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies.
And this is why they're trying to set up all these AI data centers all across Babylon, which is going to basically use up all your water supply and all your energy. This is the main reason they need all these cell towers, etc., etc. All right. This is all to conjure up that left hand power. All right.
Palantir shares surging 22% after the company cited a boom in demand for its AI software from the U.S. government.
We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am.
Palantir, a tech company based here in Denver, claims they can revolutionize government systems with their data analysis software, newly powered by artificial intelligence.
They've been hired by the Department of Defense, the FBI, local police departments, and even the IRS and Wendy's to take in the information those organizations collect even more information, and use that data to draw conclusions.
It can be used to completely reconfigure organizations' ontology, its reality, what systems matter, what information matters, what processes matter, how they are structured, what biases are introduced at each of those stages.
We talked to a former Palantir employee, Doug.
Think of that scripture in Ezekiel 28th chapter. He thinks he's on the level of the Most High, and it says that thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that can escape thee. So this man, he has that intelligence where he can find everything out, and now he has this AI database system where he can get all information. He can look into anything. That's why this devil eventually he's gonna be put down. All right.
Into decades of research and listened to hours of Alex Karp's own words to unwrap the layers of Palantir's carefully cultivated sales pitch, how they capitalize on fear, uncertainty, and unrest.
I don't think in win-lose. I think in domination. This is a company built for bad times. Bad times mean strong finances internally. Bad times are very good for Palantir because we build products that are robust, that are built for danger.
Let's rewind a little.
Palantir's story starts with one of the most effective things a company can have for sales: fear.
After the September 11th attacks, the United States...
That's why they say among themselves, never let a good crisis go to waste. Because a crisis is never anything good, but notice they say, never let a good crisis go to waste. They need the world to cooperate under the basis of fear. You can control people through fear. So problem, reaction, solution. they putting it right in your face.
Government began expanding surveillance both at home and abroad. This was, of course, a boon for the defense industry at large. Simultaneously,
right now, what is the crisis? Immigration crisis. What's one of the issues right now? These people that are leeching off of the system through SNAP, these different benefits, right? So they manufacturing all these different crises. Now it's a food shortage. Now it's this. Now it's that. They want to cause racial tension. They play on that so that they can utilize these systems. That's exactly what it's intended for. All right. That's why it says in Sirach the 12th chapter, never trust thine enemy. You would think that they're trying to do this for good cause, but it's really to basically, oppress. All right. It's to undermine the people. Keep the people, down below.
The Silicon Valley tech industry was growing fast and making people in a once obscure industry very, very rich, very, very quickly. Like the founders and executives at PayPal, known as the PayPal Mafia. Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman, the LinkedIn guy, and Peter Thiel. When PayPal was sold, Thiel had millions of dollars burning a hole in his pocket and an idea. PayPal had developed systems for detecting fraud and crimes on the platform. What if they could use similar thinking to analyze the world at large? So Thiel pulled from his network to build out a new company. One of the first hires was Thiel's Stanford Law School roommate, Alex Karp, who'd gone on after Stanford to get a PhD in not business or computer science or engineering, but neoclassical social theory. They named the company Palantir, after the Palantiri from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
In Lord of the Rings, the Palantir Stone is a magical object that allows its users to predict the future or to see what's going on in a remote location.
It was originally created.
So of course, it's all centered around, you know, that left hand power. That's why Paul said in 2 Thessalonians 2, even he who is coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. That's where they get their inspiration. It's all based on, you know, sorcery, witchcraft. All right. And it tells you that in Isaiah 47, that thou trust in thine own wickedness. You know, your knowledge and wisdom, it has perverted you. You trust in your own wickedness. So that's where they developed this God complex.
By the elves, it was meant to be used for good purposes. It is potentially very dangerous technology. It's very powerful.
Long have you hunted me.
So that's Middle Earth, but what does Palantir do in a regular Earth?
And what we do is we use what legal scholars call predicate-based search. So we would look at you, and then we would go out and say, oh, there's lots of different things in your life that may be indicative of someone involved in bad behavior.
Put simpler, they make software that makes it easier for their customers to collect and analyze data, and then act on that analysis with and without AI. By 2013, 10 years after their founding, Palantir's client list included the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Marines, the Air Force, Special Operations Command, and more.
Did your company help to track and kill Osama bin Laden?
You know, we can never. I'll tell you, the closest thing to an answer is there are when you look at when you open the paper.
He didn't just answer it directly. You know, it would have been too obvious. But we all know exactly what this is all being used for. They want to track everybody down. All right, without it, you know, without hard effort, you know, to find you and basically execute you. If you are in jeopardy, if you're jeopardizing or a threat to their establishment, their enterprise, you're basically in the way. Let me get this in a Psalm real quick. This is Psalm 56 and 6. It says, they gather themselves together, they hide themselves, they mark my steps when they wait for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine iniquity, it's like in thine anger, cast down the people, O power. Read it in the NLT. It says, they come together to spy on me, watching my every step, eager to kill me. All right, and you know, they're definitely plotting against the righteous, because we're the ones that's taking that stand. We're out there standing in great boldness. You know, pretty soon it's going to be past trying to, you know, kick us off the internet. They're going to really try to, you know, come for us. And they're going to use AI to try to frame us just to justify when they come to try to, you know, take some of us. And some brothers going to be martyred for the Lord's sake, for the gospel's sake, for the witness. All right. But this devil, he's going to lose. It's already written, you know, that they're going to be out of here. Okay. But, yeah, man. Let me get, because it also tells us this. This is Psalm 10. Yeah, this is Psalm 10 and verse 8. And it says, they lurk in ambush in the villages, waiting to murder innocent people. They are always searching for helpless victims. Like lions crouched in hiding, they wait to pounce on the helpless. Like hunters, they capture the helpless and drag them away in nets. Their helpless victims are crushed. They fall beneath the strength of the wicked. And this is them magnifying their strength on earth through this technology, through his sword. All right. He's weaponizing his whole system. All right, and they think that the Most High ain't watching them, just like they're watching us and listening to us and spying on us through these devices. The Most High, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, so he's watching them too, waiting on them to make their move. All right, they're definitely plotting against the just. But this time the Lord's going to lift up a standard. He's going to defend us. All right, that's why you think them chariots been showing up as of late, because the Lord's he's gonna bring that divine hand down, and he's gonna defend and protect his elect. All right, but this devil, he's leveling up before he falls. You know, like it says in Revelation 12:12, the devil's come down having great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time. So he's trying to get his ducks in a row before it all, you know, transpires. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So let me do this now, because I went to the comment section, and you see what the people are saying. It says the worst thing in the world is that we have no comic book heroes, but we have so many comic book villains. We are not outnumbered, we are out organized. So you have this growing sentiment that, you know, people, they're starting to see it, you know, that there's a greater enemy. Okay. Bad times are good for Palantir, says the CEO of a company that tells government whether the times are good. Yeah, bad times are good for them because, you know, for them, it equals more control, more power, more control. All right, they can lock things down. Yeah, with the whole C-19 operation back in 2020, they used the fear and that manufactured crisis to lock people into their homes, so people couldn't see what they were actually setting up. And they pulled the biggest heist in American history, the biggest transfer of wealth we've seen in forever. So yeah, bad times are good for them, because they can turn it into a utopia for themselves and a dystopia for the people. All right. And this is how you know the man of sin is being revealed. Okay, the son of perdition. He says, why do movies, comics, and video games always show the good guy winning? Because it's an escape from a reality where the bad guys are always the winners. See, so there's people are having this sentiment, but it made me think about this scripture. So we already know the end or the fate of this devil. We already know how it's going to end for him. He's really not a winner. He's a loser who seemed to be winning, but he's on borrowed time. All right, like it says in Job, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. All right, the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. This is Sirach 20 and verse 9. It says, there is a sinner that have good success in evil things, and there is a gain that turneth to loss. And we know on the day of the Lord, everything that he labored for, everything that he hoarded to himself, everything that he touched and built, whether it was, you know, through forced exploitation of forced slave labor, exploitation, thievery, fraud, however he got it, it's all gonna come to a loss in a moments of time. But soon in Revelation 18, it's all gonna come to naught in 1 hour. Everything that he gained is gonna come to a loss in a sudden, man. He's gonna make a speedy riddance of this place. You could read that in Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, the last verse. All right. So that's why, you know, we don't fret ourselves because of their success. Was that Psalm 37? Because it seemed like they succeed and they're winning now, but it's going to be a point in time where we're going to narrowly look upon them and say, was this the man? Yeah, Psalm 37. Psalm 37 and 1, a Psalm of David, says, don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong. For like grass, they soon fade away. Like spring flowers, they soon wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord and he will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust him and he will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the injustice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. And this is in the NLT. It says, be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for him to act. Don't worry about evil people who prosper or fret about their wicked schemes. Stop being angry. Turn from your rage. Do not lose your temper. It only leads to harm. For the wicked will be destroyed, but those who trust in the Lord will possess the land. Soon the wicked will disappear. Though you look for them, they will be gone. All right, and you can read that in Job 20. You're going to be chased out of this earth. All right, he's going to perish forever like his own dung. You ain't going to be able to see him. He's going to be chased away as like a dream in the night. All right, so, you know, we don't fret ourselves because they're able to succeed in their wicked endeavors, man. The Lord, you know, he's going to disappoint the hands of the crafty that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right, but it's only going to work for them to a certain extent. Because he got to set up his beast. It's like his image. And he got to basically fulfill Revelation 13:16 on down. Really, you could start up. Because it talk about the miracles and all that. The power that he would have. And then he would cause everybody to receive that mark, which goes into his fourth industrial revolution. All right. He wants to put a device into you and merge you into this technology. That's your initiation into the beast system. And you and as long as you volunteer, you're basically agreeing to worship and bow down to this system. All right. So, you know, you see the people, you know, that they're saying that, man, there's too many evil people that are winning. You know, that it seems like they're on top. Why does it seem to be this way? Because the Lord is setting these devils up. That's all. In due time. That's why we got to be patient. But anyway, you know, like I said, you know, this is a pretty good little film. Came out 6 months ago. You can watch it. All right, and you know, hopefully y'all were edified. All right, go and check this out. I worked at Palantir, the tech company reshaping reality. All right, and it is becoming reality. So with that, I'm gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.